Hey folks, what's going on? Tommy here. So, this is going to be episode number 2 of my Heart and Gold Nuzlocke. Uh, Hopefully everything works okay this time around. So, I actually started recording this last night. This is Wednesday, I recorded this Tuesday night, and I got about 5 or 6 minutes into it, and then for no reason whatsoever, my ROM froze. And so I scrapped that video. I was only like I said, 5 or 6 minutes into it, so I wasn't too worried about it. Hopefully this works this time around. We're gonna see. We have. I'm just gonna go over my team again. I believe I went over it towards the end of the last video, but I'm just gonna make 100% sure that it is done and taken care of. So I have Fairy the Azumarill, and this Azumarill has Tackle, Defense Curl, Tail Whip, and Water Gun. And then I have Speakers, the Loudred, who has Pound, Uproar, Astonish, and Howl. And then the last encounter that I got yesterday, which caused me a little bit of trouble, but thankfully she went in the Pokeball, is Lady Hero, my Lady Heracross. This Heracross has Tackle, Leer, Horn Attack, and Endure. Not great, especially not for a fighting type or a bug fighting type, but hopefully we will be able to do something with this Heracross once we get it leveled up and it knows a couple of moves. So, as you can remember from yesterday, I am almost out of Pokeballs. That Heracross pretty well drained me. I had one left when I caught it, and thankfully it went in the Pokeball. I actually got in a discussion last night with some people. I have several friends that have caught important things in the Premier Balls, important Pokemon in the Premier Balls. So, despite my insistence that I think that they are useless, I will, at the very least, until I get the access to Great Balls, will be trying. So, here I am. I'm on a new route. I always get those buttons mixed up into what I've mapped them to. My last Pokemon was a female. So it means my first encounter in this route has to be a male in order for it to be a viable encounter. We will see what we found here. We have found a female Bagon, so I can't catch this, unfortunately. I've seen some different gender lock rules online. I've seen some people that it has to be all of one gender. A Sceptile, and this Sceptile is male. That means I can catch the Sceptile. So that is already starting to be a really good lead for my team. So I think for the moment I'm going to have to switch out. I don't know if Fairy will kill it. And if Fairy doesn't kill it but scores a critical hit, that definitely will. So I still have plenty of potions left over. If I need to heal, like Speakers will probably get healed this next turn. I still have plenty of potions, so I'm not too worried about this encounter here. The only thing I'm mildly worried about with Sceptile is that his catch rate. He might have a pretty low catch rate, which would make it more difficult for me to actually keep him in the Pokeball. And him using Leer on me a couple of times, that worries me a little bit too, but I don't think that he will one-shot anything. Absorb could be an issue, though, so we will see. Oh, that only does 3 damage. I'm not worried about it. I forgot that Absorb is a special and not a physical. And so now I will work on trying to catch him. I should be able to catch him relatively easily, even though he's level 2. Nope, that's one Pokeball down. But yes, as I was saying, I apologize. As I was saying, I've seen a lot of gender lock rules where it's been you have to have a team of all males or all females, and personally, I don't want to do something like that. Like, this gives me versatility, and it also doesn't limit me to Pokemon. Meaning, like, certain Pokemon can obviously only be male or female. Tauros can only be male. Miltank can only be female. Thank you. Finally got the Sceptile here. And it doesn't limit me to that. So if I encounter a Tauros on one of these routes, I can still catch it. I still have to keep the diversity, and I just made a mistake. So when my ROM froze, I had actually started up a playthrough of Soul Silver, hoping that maybe I thought it was the anti-piracy patch that was the issue. And so I re-downloaded a ROM, patched it and everything, and it turns out that the ROM itself, or the anti-piracy patch anyways, did not fix whatever issue was coming up, because about 15 minutes into a Soul Silver run, it froze on me as well. And I encountered the same issue there. So an observant person will notice that this Sceptile does not have a nickname. I did the same thing with my very first encounter over there when I actually got a chance to catch a Pokemon. I'm so used to just hitting the B button to not nickname that I forgot to nickname. Now, I will nickname the Sceptile. Once I get to the name raider, which I believe is in Goldenrod City, I will nickname the Sceptile. I promise you that. Even if I have to pull it out of the PC to do so, it will get a nickname, along with any others that maybe I've inadvertently forgotten about. So now as we actually take a look at this Sceptile has a really fast speed, especially for a level 2 Pokemon. I mean, if you look at it, it's got 2 points less than my Azumarill, which is 7 levels above it. And then the moves that it comes with are Pound, Leer, Absorb, and Quick Attack. So, not horrible. He's gonna run. I'm gonna stick him out in front so I can get him a couple of levels here. And he is my encounter for the area, so like we got that out of the way relatively easily. I've also seen a lot of people talk about doing soul-linked Pokemon as far as like a singular team. It's something I have given consideration to. However, I will be doing an actual soul link with another person here, probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to talk to the person. Her name is Ash. I'm going to talk to her tomorrow night. We always go out to Buffalo Wild Wings on Thursdays. So I'm going to talk to her when we meet up there and see what kind of works with her schedule as far as trying to set up some sort of collaboration. You guys have also noticed, so I wanted to get some sort of graphic up on screen about what Pokemon I have in my party. Unfortunately, I can't update it on the fly. It takes about 3 minutes to do, and I don't really want to pause the stream or pause the recording just so that I can edit it and put a new Pokemon up there and so on and so forth. So it will be edited before every stream. As far as what new Pokemon have been added, badges, things like that. But for right now, it's just going to kind of sit where it is. And despite my insistence not to want to do it, I think before I do episode number 3, I think I will have to do a grinding montage. Either that or episode number 3 is just going to be grinding. And that's not fun to watch, and that's not fun to do. And so I will try to do it in such a way, the grinding montage. I may not record it. I haven't really decided yet if I'm going to record it, but I will do it in such a way that doesn't take up much from the actual story of the game or anything like that. If I do, I'll probably just go for wild Pokemon as much as possible and avoid trainers. Like, I'll try to save trainers for on video, but I will do what I can to not to just battle wild Pokemon. I mean, especially when you do a randomized sort of thing, there's a wealth of wild Pokemon out there. There's I mean, when I loaded up Soul Silver, when I did my randomizer for that, one of the Pokemon in the very first route I encountered was a level 3 Ho-Oh. I also encountered a level 4 Blaziken. Both of them gave a lot of experience. So I'm not having to fight Rattatas and Pidgeys or anything like that. I'll actually fight Pokemon with some decent experience gains. I think what I am going to do, though, instead of fighting any more Pokemon in this area, I'll actually start and move up towards trainers. It's not much fun to just see me walk back and forth in a patch of grass. What I am going to end up doing after this... So, I have heard a rumor that the reason that these ROMs have issues is because of... that part of it isn't anti-piracy, but part of it is also that it's not designed to run on an emulator. At least Heart Gold and Soul Silver are not designed to run on an emulator. And it has something built into it that every 10 battles, it freezes the ROM. Which would be very, very bad. I don't want that. I don't want my ROM to freeze, because then that means that not only do I lose out on whatever I've been recording this time, but if my ROM continues to freeze, then potentially I will lose out on the entire series. I decided to give this one more try today, just so I can try to iron out any hiccups or anything like that. But if for whatever reason anything happens after today that I can't really easily resolve, then I think I'm going to have to scrap the series and move to something like a black and white randomizer, or I have done Diamond and Pearl and Platinum before. I've done ROM hacks with those, and so I might move to something like that. If I do, I am going to be using Speed Up. Those games are incredibly slow. It went from 60 frames per second in Generation 3 to 30 in Generation 4 for those 3 games. And so if it comes down to it, I will be switching over to something like that. I still think that would be a lot of fun. It just mildly irritates me that I would end up losing a portion of my recording, not to mention a portion of my time. I'm a brand new YouTuber, and for me to actually get the experience in things like video editing, uploading, advertising my channel, things like that, to have to delete something off my channel or to lose something off of my channel because of a technical limitation, like the ROM isn't working, it frustrates me, and it makes me feel kind of like I wasted a little bit of my time. And I know obviously I didn't waste my time, because I've had some of my friends watch this, I've had random people watch this, and so, you know, assuming that they do stick around, they'll still be around for future videos. But it gets a little bit frustrating, because you want to continue on, you want to keep the promises that you've made to your subscribers, to the people who watch your videos, and when you get technical difficulties like that, it kind of ruins your mood about it. I have also thought about, I have a lot of free time this week. I just started school up last week, and then I have 2 classes on Thursday, both in the evenings, and then I do a bunch of stuff with my friends on Thursday evenings, but Thursday mornings up until 2:30, I'm completely free. I am completely free Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Occasionally my girlfriend comes down or I go visit her, but other than that, I'm usually pretty free. And so I just ended up downloading, well, or over the course of really a year and a half, I've kind of accumulated games on Steam. But I've just downloaded quite a bit to my Steam recently, some newer games. I downloaded H1Z1, I downloaded South Park: The Stick of Truth, I downloaded a couple of small little indie games like Crypt of the Necrodancer. I just got Civilization Beyond Earth. it actually came free because I ordered my graphics card from this certain company, so they gave me a free game, which was kind of nice because I'm not a huge Civilization fan. I have a bunch of them on my YouTube, or on my Steam, rather, because they came in a Humble Bundle, which I will always donate to Humble Bundle if I see at least 2 games on there that I think I would be interested in playing. So I have a bunch of Civilization games on my Steam. I think about 8 or 9 different games. So I have a lot of different Steam games I'm going to start doing some Let's Plays for. South Park The Stick of Truth is probably at the top of my list at the moment. And then H1Z1 is probably second. I got to play a little bit of it a few weeks ago. Not a few weeks ago, a few days ago, rather. I didn't particularly like the experience. It seemed very difficult to me, but I'm more than willing to give it a second try, especially since there's not a lot of stuff on H1Z1 on YouTube, and so doing something like that, like, I wouldn't cater to people who potentially watch these videos. I'm not going to cater to them specifically, but you know, if people want me to try a game, I'm more than willing to try it. I'm not big into horror games, so don't recommend Five Nights at Freddy's or Evil Within or anything like that. I'm not going to play those games. I don't like those games. I've watched people play those games, and they are not entertaining to me. However, I will be doing... If you recommend just about anything else, I love RPGs. I love strategy games. I love simulation games. I'm considering doing just a 2-hour-long Sims video just for shits and giggles one day. Starting fresh, like right at the bottom of creating a sim, all the way up to... I think the limit for YouTube videos is like 2 hours, but I could make a Let's Play out of it. I could make a series out of it if I wanted to, if I saw there's some interest in it. But that is, at the moment, that is kind of where I am at. And again, if you guys have any recommendations or anything that you want to see or anything that you think that I would enjoy, just from hearing me talk, you guys can kind of figure out what kind of person I am. Some of my friends watch these videos, so they already know what kind of person I am. Then we can go from there. And I think if I didn't talk about it on my last video, I actually talked about it on this video before I had the technical difficulties. So I'll just bring it up again. One of my friends is thinking about coming down to my city for Christmas. Not Christmas, spring break. Sorry, it's already been a long day for me. Spring break. And we have talked about doing a live stream. It would either be a live stream or we would do a long series of gameplay videos. Like, playing video games would be all that we would do that day. And we would record everything and put them up in different categories on YouTube. Because if my internet's not resolved by that point, then I'm still not going to be able to stream. And Twitch has been acting kind of funny with me lately. Sometimes I can watch other people, sometimes I can't, and it just freezes on a plain white page that says Twitch. So we will see what we can do. But my friend is thinking about coming down here. I'm going to go ahead and frame skip just for the purpose of saving. He's thinking about coming down here, and if we do the live stream, what we're thinking about doing is a different Final Fantasy every day for 7 days. So he would take a 12-hour shift, and I would take a 12-hour shift, and each day we would just do a different Final Fantasy. Okay, we'll turn frame skipping back off. We'll limit the frame rate. I do that. I could do the save state. For some reason, save state was still causing me some issues. So at least this way I can do this. Now, failing that, he has never played Pokemon before. And so I actually think it would be really interesting to get him introduced to it through something like an emulator or a ROM. The idea of Pokemon. And I would like to get him into something like a challenge session, like a Nuzlocke, especially for somebody who is brand new to the series. I think that would be really interesting to see how he does with that. That being said, I can't guarantee anything. I haven't actually talked to him about it. He and I are kind of on different schedules. He's much more of a night owl. I'm much more of, well, I have to be right now. I'm very much in the daytime because I have class. So, okay, so in here I will get another encounter. I don't know why I keep hitting the Y button. I mean to hit the X button. So, Septile was my last encounter. So I can get a female in here. Now, regarding the gender lock rules, I have seen people say 3 encounters. I would have 3 encounters to find a female in here. And if I don't find it within 3 encounters, I forfeit the encounter. I will probably end up doing that. It pains me to do that because sometimes you just get unlucky, and you know, it happens. But we will see what happens with it. So, we have a male Charmander. So that's encounter number 2. So, if I don't find anything here, in this next encounter, a female, then I will just call this encounter done and finished. Female Horsey, I can use that. I can use that. With this, I did turn off impossible evolutions. So, there are no trade evolutions in this. There are no, like, to get Slowking, I just have to level it up. So on and so forth. To get Golem, I just have to level it up. I did that because it is physically impossible for me to trade in this game. I cannot, especially on an emulator, you can't trade with somebody else. And I just barely missed that Horsey. So we will give it another try. He's not going to do a lot to she's not going to do a lot to Septile. And then I just need to remember to nickname it. Because I really don't want to have to take a party full of Pokemon to the name raider that I forgot to nickname. So, I'm trying to think of a nickname. I think I've got a nickname for this Horsey. We will see if it is, if it'll fit. I don't ever know the limitations on this, so. Oh yeah, this will easily fit. I'm going to call this Horsey Squirt Gun. Just because it reminds me of a squirt gun. So then, now the downside to this is that Horsey is a water type. So, because that Horsey is a water type, once I get to a PC, I have to swap it out, or I have to put it in the PC because it conflicts with my Azumarill. So, the other nice thing, though, is because I am getting ready, I believe I'm already in it. I believe this is a new route. I will check the map function just to make 100% sure. But, this should be a new route. Map key. This is a new route, Route 31. So I can get another encounter here. Go ahead and we'll snag up this item, which is a choice band. Not bad. I would prefer that on a competitive team, not in a randomized playthrough. So, because that Horsey was female, I have to encounter a male on this route. And of course I would encounter a Hippopotas, which is going to whip up a Sandstorm. I hate Sandstorm. Sandstorm and Hail are two of the most despised status conditions, or I guess field conditions is what I'm looking for. So we've got an Altaria. And this is a male Altaria. And so I can catch this, and if memory serves me, I can use this in my party. That was not very effective at all. The big downside to Pokemon being out there for as long as it has been is that I don't remember primary typings for many Pokemon. So I cannot remember if Altaria is normal flying or just flying. I think it's just flying. But we will certainly see. And it's got Sing. That's just lovely. We got 6 chances to catch this thing. Hopefully it'll go in at the first try. It does not. I can weaken it a little more if I absolutely need to. I can use absorb on it a little bit. I'll probably do that. If it doesn't catch it in this Pokeball, I'll probably absorb for a little bit. And then I think I'll probably get to the Pokemon Center in Violet City. And there we go. We've got this Altaria. Now, I just need to think of a quick nickname for this Altaria. I think I've got one, actually. This nicknaming thing is not as difficult as it seems. I never nickname. Occasionally I'll nickname my starter and that's it. So I am going to call this Altaria Skybound. And I technically forgot to do this with Horsey. I didn't think it was a huge thing simply because of the fact that I can't use this Horsey. But I forgot to actually look at its stats. So all it's got is Bubble and Smokescreen. So it's not great, especially when I've got Water Gun on Azumarill. It's going to be a little bit better Pokemon for me. This Altaria is Dragon Flying. So that means that right now my party will be, after I get done, Sceptile, Loudred, Heracross, Azumarill, and the Altaria. And this Altaria has Peck, Growl, Astonish, and Sing. Not a bad Altaria, especially not with Natural Cure. So I'm going to go ahead, I will head up to Violet City, and I will probably, I'll go heal in the Pokemon Center, and I will probably deposit the Horsey and then call it a day. And that'll give me a little bit of time later tonight to do a little bit of grinding for this. I'm going to save my state here. I'm going to do that for one very crucial reason. Because almost every time I have stepped inside this area on this particular ROM, it has frozen on me, or it has glitched. Okay, so I don't think we're having that right now. Okay, so Lyra gives us the verse recorder. But yes, that has been a major issue for me in the past. I've come in here, and it glitches, it freezes, it does some weird thing, and it causes lots and lots of issues for me. And so we will get to the Pokemon Center here. We'll go ahead, we'll put Horsey in the PC. And you guys will probably hear me refer to my Pokemon by species and not by nickname. Because of the fact that, like I said, I'm very new to nicknaming Pokemon. And we'll go ahead and we'll heal up real quick. One thing I will do before I get finished with this is that I will stop in this little house over here. I will see what they will potentially trade me. And then that will probably finish out the video. I'll stop back over and just end it right in front of the Pokemon Center, but that'll be the end of the video. So we'll stop in here. We'll see what they'll trade me. I highly doubt they'll trade me for anything I already have. Vileplume for an unknown. Definitely not a worthwhile trade. I did randomize trades. I also randomized static Pokemon. So that will be the video. If you like this video, please leave a comment. Please leave a like. Please feel free to subscribe. Like I said, I am relatively new at the whole YouTube thing, but I will be putting lots and lots of gameplay videos up. Everything from South Park to potentially Civilization Beyond Earth, Crypto the Necrodancer. I will put everything up that I possibly can. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Tommy out.